is the Hollywood Chronicles with Frank McKay. Tune in each week for exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities.
Frank McKay here. So much more importantly, Audrey Corsa is our very special guest, and she is an actress who is on the rise. And if you don't believe me, just check out some of her wonderful work coming up and ongoing. And Dear Edward, based on the book of the same name, is something you got to watch. And it's a 10-episode first season, and it's upon us. You could check it out. But so much more. She's a guest star in Knives Out, Glass Onion, and Poker Face. Right. Well, actually, that's the Knives Out, Glass Onion director, Johnson, Ryan Johnson, and Poker Face, which got tremendous attention. Let me, without further ado, bring on Audrey Corsa. Audrey, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, listen, thanks for being here. You got to feel like your head's spinning a little bit, right? You got a lot going on. It seems, at least from the outside looking in, it seems like you got a lot of good things happening kind of all at once. Is that how it feels for you?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a little head spinny, but these are such great projects to work on, I'm loving the way that they're being received. It's been really cool. It's been a really cool experience.
Yeah, and I got to imagine this is what you dreamt of. I don't know, and I certainly I don't know, I can't see into your mind, but I imagine as a young woman or a young aspiring actress, this is what you aspire to, right? This is what you want to get to and beyond. But does it feel like you're at this at this nice level that you've been looking at for a while?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's so much hard work goes into, just even getting in the door for some of these things. And so then to be able to work with somebody like Ryan Johnson, who, I've admired for so many years, and then Jason Katims, who is the showrunner and creator of Dear Edward, and Connie Britton, who played my mom on Dear Edward, just people who I've admired for so long. It's been, just this amazing experience.
What's the difference between how it feels being where you are now and what you expected it to be like?
It's still my life, It's still life. It's not much has changed in any drastic way, other than feeling a lot of gratitude and really like getting to do the thing. You go through all of these auditions, and then finally you're able to work at a level with people who you've admired, and that's such a cool, amazing feeling.
You've done your homework, and you've done your training, and you could see it. And you obviously don't just roll out of bed with a script and just kind of launch into it. You've done Shakespeare. You've done a lot of stage work, I imagine. Again, different type of prep. But what was your background like prior to being on screen? Is there a lot of stage work there?
Yeah, there's a lot of stage work there. I went to Juilliard in New York, which is 4 years of intense, theater training, and then I after I graduated, I was lucky enough to be in a show off Broadway there called Mary Page Marlowe, with some amazing actors, and just getting to do that. I mean, it is a very different way of working, but it was I think invaluable in sort of the way that I work and the way that I prepare for the work that I do. And it's also so much about community theater. I mean, not community theater, although community theater is about community.
Yeah.
Theater in general is about community, and I think that's such a good way to approach a project, is not thinking just about yourself, but thinking about the people that you're doing it for and the people that you're doing it with.
At the moment that you were doing that, if you could, think back to it, was your mindset more stage and continuous stage, or was it to get on screen, or some kind of combination of two? What were you thinking?
My hope has always been to sort of balance the two. I live in Los Angeles now, so it's, although there is theater here, it's a lot more TV film focused. I'd love to get back on stage, but right now it seems like things are leaning towards film and TV until maybe that changes, which would also be cool.
Listen, don't fight it if it's working. Don't fight it. Just keep going. Can you give us a little take on Dear Edward and give us a little overview?
Yeah, Dear Edward is about a little boy who survives a tragic plane crash in which everyone else dies, and it follows the families who survived their loved ones dying. Who were left behind, and this little boy Edward as the sort of through line in their processing of that grief. And it's really a show about resilience. It's really a show about people experiencing a shared this really intense shared experience and overcoming and coming through all of that. And it's really beautifully done, and I think everyone should watch it. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, well, listen, a lot of people are watching, and we'll be talking about it even as we let you go. 10-episode first season, and it's based on a book. How much of that 10-episode season is true to the book, and how much is kind of spinning off of it?
A lot. I mean, the entire Edward story is right on par with the book. They didn't really diverge from that story, but there are other stories like mine with Connie and several other people who are entirely new. So those who've read the book and really loved it will get a taste of what they loved about the book on screen, and also some new, interesting, kind of funny sometimes, and touching and meaningful stories that they didn't read in the book.
Well, Audrey, let me congratulate you. And before you go, let us know anything else that we should know about what's going on Poker Face, if you want to touch on that. And also, before you go, make sure we get your social media sites and your website, anywhere we could follow along with what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Poker Face is great. You should watch it for sure. It's a mystery whodunit. If you loved Knives Out or Glass Onion or even Columbo way back when, it's a show that pays a lot of homage to that kind of thing, and it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's fast-paced and delightful. And then you can just find me at Audrey Corsa on Instagram, and that's about all I got.
Audrey, congrats once again. It'll be exciting watching you as your career develops. You're doing great. Just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll be watching. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Audrey Corsa, everyone. Her star is on the rise, and she's at that point where she's just getting the big roles, noticeable roles. Yeah, I misspoke. I said she was had a guest star in Knives Out, Glass Onion. It's the director of Knives Out, Glass Onion, Ryan Johnson, his first ever TV series, Poker Face, and she's got a guest role in that, and serious role. Well, not that that's not serious. I mean, it's as nice as you can get. The credit she's getting, but in Dear Edward, she's doing real stuff. Juilliard grad, which shows you she's serious about what she's doing. She's done a lot of Shakespeare, and you wonder, and I still wonder. I don't know. The first time I'm talking to Audrey, but with regards to her Shakespeare roles, many of those type folks who are doing Shakespeare, they do it as background, and their thought is training. But a lot of people fall in love with the theater, and you don't know whether that is the case with different people, and maybe some people just stay with the theater because it's their comfort zone. It's their comfort zone, and they think that that's where it is. That's where the respect is, and that's where they're going to make their career. I guess we just assume that you use the theater to get your chops down, and then you go on to make money, and you go on to almost like it's, well, I don't want to say the minor leagues, because there's great theater actors that have no interest in playing on the screen, big or small. But whenever you really look at it, I mean, money drives a lot, and you're going to make more money. For the most part, you're going to make more money on screen, whether it's TV or whether it's film, and we just naturally go there in our minds. But anyway, Audrey Corsa, the first time I'm speaking to her, I'm sure we'll speak to her again. But she's somebody who's on the rise. Wonderful young actress. Frank McKay signing off. We'll see you all next time.
You've been listening to the Hollywood Chronicles with Frank McKay. Tune in next week for more celebrity interviews with your favorite Hollywood stars.